Everybody get up. Yeah, welcome to Anita Vita Rise. All right, everybody, welcome. It's Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, who can make you better? Anita Vita Rise. In all types of weather, Anita Vita Rise. Get you back together, Anita Vita Rise. Go send her a letter, Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise, yeah. Anita Vita Rise, yeah, yeah. Anita Vita Rise.
Welcome to Rise with Anita Vita. I am your host, Anita Vita, Master Medical Qigong teacher and healer. I am so grateful and thankful you are here with me today. Today is a super special episode. I'm inviting in my own Tai Chi master teacher into the show. He is the creator of the Way of Qi School, the premier Tai Chi Academy with the highest level magic. So y'all get to hear about that at the very end. So please help me welcome Sifu Eric Randolph, please.
Hello, sweetie. How are you doing? Hello,
Hi.
Everybody. It is truly a pleasure. It is truly a pleasure.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for being here. You guys, fun fact before we start. He's the creator of my customized intro and outro to the show.
Oh, you cut it out.
Yeah, I had to go there because people have been asking, and it's lovely and it's amazing. And he produced it, created it literally like 72 hours before my team needed it. So thank you.
Well,
It's been so lovely. What?
You were the one who was intuitive enough to actually call me while I was in the studio. Exactly when I was in the studio.
Thank God you were in the studio. See how in sync we are? Thank you. And you listened and you paid attention. And you're like, you sure? I have time for Anita.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to whip this out right now. Will you kindly tell everybody listening in and everybody watching who you are, what you do, and what is Tai Chi and Qigong? Like, just let's blow their minds with that.
I am Sifu Eric Randolph, and I have been studying Tai Chi Chuan and all its Taoist facets for the last 30 years. I was really lucky to run into a person who had serious martial knowledge with it, and because of his dedication and his focused capabilities with it, and his expertise was just flawless. He taught me the tenacity needed in order to understand the physical body and the higher levels of thought process and emotional processes that are needed in order to raise the physical form into its highest level of understanding consciously. Tai Chi Chuan, as you will know, it's Tai Chi Chuan, which means grand ultimate boxing. And the reason why it's called that is because it's the one form of boxing that you can use it for anything. You can use it for defending yourself. You can use it for your health. And really, the Taoists, when they were creating it, the creator, Chang Sun Feng, who's the first person who wrote it down, at least who we think wrote it down, the first person we think wrote it down, he let it be known that Chuan wasn't so much like boxing, like fighting with your fists. It was like trying to understand duality and understanding the many facets that were intertwined within our three-dimensional realm, and how to actually be here and to raise to our highest levels as as human beings. As you probably already know, China was invaded, and so many of the Taoists, a few of the Taoists, went and they taught the people how to do Tai Chi Chuan. But even more Taoists retreated. They retreated and they retreated and they went off and secluded themselves. And so what was left here was just the understanding of the martial aspect of it. But let me be clear. Let me be very clear. Tai Chi and Qigong are all about alchemy. They are all about alchemy and how to raise your senses to the highest level in order so that you can navigate through this world flawlessly. Because there's so many levels here, it's ridiculous how many levels there are. And people use the Chuan and Tai Chi to think that it just means martial, but martial means the ability to defend oneself. And it doesn't mean you have to get into a war. You can defend yourself without raising your hands. You can understand how to be in a space where nothing of negative or tension lands on you because you're already aware. You're already 7, 10, 20, 100 steps ahead with your perception of seeing what may be coming your way. And so therefore you're able to redirect yourself in order so that no harm comes your way. And Qigong is about the strict health aspect of it and not thinking about defending yourself against another person of it. But no matter what you're doing, if you're doing Qi and you're understanding your Qi, you're energizing yourself. You are creating higher consciousness within yourself in order so that you can navigate your outermost aspects. This is your form. This is your form. It is an outermost aspect. You are pure consciousness. Your body is a magnetized aspect within three-dimensional frame. And so therefore, the world outside of you is another reflection of that body within you. And so therefore, the more you understand the more subtle aspects of yourself and integrate them properly and appropriately, you will gain mastery over many things that you probably weren't even thinking about for a very long time. So yeah. So, blah, 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 blah.
Well, so how did the teaching even come to you?
I have been studying Taoist, Taoist thought and Tibetan thought since I was 7. I remember as a kid, I was a reader and I was a really quiet kid, firstborn. And all I wanted to do was read about faraway places and understand other cultures. It was just a part of my nature to do. It was just a part of my nature. So I would go off into the woods. I would find a book. I would go to the library, find a book, and then take the book out and then go off into the woods and climb a tree. And I would read in the tree. Huge books, like thick books. I'm 7 years old reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So yeah, 7. Yes.
So as you were reading, you actually understood all of it?
It was clear to me.
Wow.
It's really weird. It's really weird, because when I think about it, you talk to other people and they're like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it that way. No, it was clear to me. There were a lot of things that were really clear to me in it, and they were really easy concepts for me to understand because I could pick small things to latch onto because I had already been through so much as a child of just meditating and thinking differently than other people, that it was almost like coming home. Like reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead and reading about Taoist masters, it was it was really like coming home when I was reading those type of things and studying for myself. Of course, it made me alienated, you know, in other aspects, but it was who I was. So you know, that's just the way it went. So yeah.
So at 7, reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead,
Yes. Yeah.
how did that transpire into finding your master teacher
Well,
and
after.
then
Mhm.
starting this school? Yeah.
Well, what was really great was my father, because I was so quiet, because I was so quiet and I just like to read, I was totally different from my family. And he was like, and I was super gentle. And he was like, Eric, you have to learn how to defend yourself. He was so worried about me. I actually was really great at defending myself. I just felt no desire to defend myself. I had not that desire. Um, and so he was like, I really want you to learn how to defend yourself. So began the began my very harsh journey in the world of learning how to defend myself because of being pushed into having to defend myself. My father taught me some boxing, some peekaboo boxing, and he would take me to Bruce Lee movies and stuff like that. My uncles knew martial arts and stuff like that. But I always fell in love with the monks. I always felt love with the master monks, the ones who were really quiet. The blind monk, Kwajin King, watching the movie, watching the show, Kung Fu, I always fell in love with the monks who were quiet, who had great skill, but were super quiet, super peaceful. I always vibed with them. I never vibed with Bruce Lee. I never vibed with, the showy, like, everything like that, just really quiet. And so he started me off that way, and I ended up taking. I was taught a hybrid martial art called Doshinka, which was a hybrid ninjutsu martial art from Korea, like a combination of Korean ninjutsu and Chinese kempo. And that was when I was around like 13 years old, and I was learning that. And then I found a teacher who was teaching Shaolin, and I went into the Shaolin school to learn, but I didn't like Shaolin because I didn't like the way it was being taught, because it was being taught very rough, like abrupt and combative, and I don't have that type of nature. So the master said, "Well, I'll teach you Xing Yi Chuan for mind boxing." So I learned the very beautiful and direct Chinese Muslim martial art known as Xing Yi Chuan. I had learned the 5 elements. And so I was learning that, and I was walking up the street, and I saw this man with my 2 other brothers from the Shaolin school, and they were like, "Well, what about this?" And my one brother threw a punch at him, and the man literally just lightly tapped the back of his wrist like that and threw my brother into the street. And I said, he was quiet and he was poised, and that's exactly what I want to learn. And that day I entered Glenn Hairston's class, and I studied my behind off. I studied my behind off. It took me 3 years to temper my ego into the type of ego that could see what it needed to see. And then it took another 5 years to get to the more subtle energies. And I was given my certificate to teach. I went into the University of Pittsburgh to teach. I started traveling all around. I was at Pat Rice's down in Winchester, Virginia, training with Joseph Hua, training with Henry Luke. Um, oh my goodness, there's just numerous people, Um, but I was changing. I was vastly changing inside and understanding so much by just practicing on my own, seeing what they were, seeing what other masters were learning and what levels they were at, and just being thankful that my master Glenn Hairston was like the top. I have never seen anyone more powerful than him ever in my life, honestly, literally. And I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of people and played hands with a lot of people too. But I just thought, I was really blessed to have the opportunity to train with someone of such high level. And so I dedicated my life to it. I dedicated my life to it. I didn't want to be the martial part of it. I wanted to go into the health part of it, the medicine part of it. And sure enough, a doctor came down to see me at my class. They took me up to Washington, D.C. to help a woman with seizures. And within 3 months, a woman who had had massive rare seizures since the time she was 10, within 3 months, they were gone. Completely gone. Yeah. And from there, it just grew. The school just grew exponentially, because I knew I had figured something out. When I started in 2000 to University of Pittsburgh, I knew I figured something out. But now I had to map what I had figured out. And so the way I teach now is totally about everything, how I mapped it out. And that's why we get the results that we get with our clients and our students.
I definitely can attest to that.
Yeah.
And I want to share more about the healing aspect of Tai Chi, because a lot of people, when I'm talking with them, they don't even know medical Qigong was a thing, medical Qigong nursing or Qigong period was a thing. And so before I do, I'd love to just share thanks for our sponsors for this episode today. So just sit back, Sifu. We'll be right back. What's up, family? I am Anita Vita, Master Medical Qigong teacher and healer. I believe that nurses deserve to be nurtured as much as they give. As a high-performing woman myself, I coach women how to overcome chronic gut pain so that they have total freedom in their life through their practice of medical Qigong. In 2011, while working as a nurse in the post-anesthesia unit, I experienced severe burnout, and it expressed itself as IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome. Discovering this practice allowed me to eradicate this gut disease completely and naturally through meditation alone. The slow, mindful movements of medical Qigong are potent and transformational, recalibrating your cellular structure by cultivating your body's natural energy and healing source called Qi. Today, I coach and empower women to achieve the same result through private and group programs, workshops, and retreat experiences to awaken you to your truth and be the highest version of yourself. If you're still in pain, you've tried everything, and you're sick and tired going from doctor to doctor with only prescriptions and strict diets as solutions, fear no more, my friend, because you have found me. Send me a message right now at anita@nacionvita.com and we'll get you to rise out of that pain, guaranteed.
𝙨𝙤𝙨𝙞 Management is a company dedicated to empowering individuals and businesses in entertainment, special events, talent management, content creation, digital and traditional marketing, and public relations, in working together to turn their dreams into reality. Get one step closer to elevating yourself and your business by contacting hello@𝙨𝙤management.com. Let us empower you.
Now let's get back to the show. Okay, so break it down for us about the elements of Tai Chi Chuan and the Qigong that comes with it for healing.
Okay, so, oh my goodness.
Why? You could do it. I believe in you.
Like, do we have an hour or two more?
I know.
2 more hours to go through?
Actually, no. But that's a great lead into a class that we're probably going to teach very soon. So, okay, how about this? How about just the very basics? The very basics of how you discovered it
I got you.
and how somebody else can begin.
I got you. So, okay, so I'm pretty sure everyone's read books about Qigong and Tai Chi, right? So, unfortunately, I was fortunate. I was really fortunate. Um, really fortunate. Um, I have this mind and this tenacity to break things down and to learn things. I don't want to rush anything. I want to take my time and learn it step by step. I am not the kind of person that can do a billion things at one time, but I can do one thing flawlessly because I've taken my time and I've nitpicked and I've been meticulous and I've gone over it and over it again. The body, the reason why we have problems with the body, let's start there. The reason why there's disease, the reason why the body ages and it breaks down the way it does, is because human consciousness is broken. If you do not feel and think integratedly and the senses are not integrated all together as one, then there are gaps within sensory perception that lead to massive energy loss and eventually death. Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua, Liu Bafa, all the meditations. At one time, you couldn't get this. You couldn't get this understanding because it was like gold. It was greater than gold to the masters who had learned it, and they kept it secret. You could not get it. You had to be chosen as a little kid or miraculously by somebody who saw you in the village somewhere, and they took you away from your parents and they trained you by yourself to become a part of a sect. And then you had to go through rigorous, harsh, ridiculous training in order to get the understanding. But thank goodness for one reincarnation, which is really helpful, but also the realization that 100 years isn't anything. And if you want to pass something on to somebody, if you want it to help mankind to rise, you have to write it down. You have to let someone know the truth about it. So, the breath, the mind, the emotions have to be one. There cannot be a glitch within the sensory perception. Because if there's a glitch, then that means you're bleeding power. And if you're bleeding power, then that means, and I mean power and perception, and being integrated, then that means the glands are firing off badly. That means the breath is tense. That means the thoughts are scattered. And that means that hiccup can become permanent. And if you aren't taking in the right amount of oxygen, if your thoughts are constantly scattered, if your organs are being constantly tensed because you're holding your breath, these things lead to emotional disarray because the body's going to tell you we're having an issue because you are not sensorily put together. And so therefore we are in a state of fear constantly. And when that state of fear becomes constant, no matter how small the hiccup, it creates disease. And the reason why meditation came into play and Taoist practice came into play and meditations and all that, from the Tibetans, from the Indians to the Africans to the Chinese, each group had their own meditation of high level meditation of depths. Each group had their shamans that had some piece of the truth of coming back to source. And Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua, Luha, Bafa, shamanism, yoga, all the yogas, like they were all a part of one school under one roof. All the adepts trained from the east to the west. All of them trained together. But it was also secret. The breath, the mind, the emotions inform the physical body how to morph itself into an expression of the internal dynamic. That physical body expression informs the rest of creation, what it should be lining up to. And that's what Qigong and Tai Chi are all about. And it is simple, but within its simpleness, there is infinite complexity. There you go.
Yay to infinite complexity.
And what's really great about it is that, excuse me for a second. What's really great about it is that I've been privileged to have the capability in this lifetime to ascertain the secrets of that knowledge, because I'm just built that way. Just like Anita Vita. We're just built that way. And so here we are, helping everybody out to get back to source, so that one day mankind won't know famine, mankind won't know war, mankind won't know disease, maybe one day not even know death. We'll see. Yeah.
All right, that's the show, everyone. No. It just got real quiet. I'm like, oh, here we go. The Sifu essence is coming through. And, you know, Sifu, I know you shared so many words.
Mm-hmm.
And you always have to make me cry.
You know I love you. Oh my goodness, girl, we gotta go and get some treats, you know. Me and you together, we gotta get some treats. Take everybody here from Anita to rest to our favorite, you know, our favorite place to go get some treats together.
Oh yeah, that'll be so dope. I can't wait for that field trip, let me tell you. Bring everybody.
Indeed.
It's just so surreal, you know, if somebody listening in for the first time, really understanding and listening to where disease comes from. And to simplify, it's because we all believe it exists. So we're waiting for that moment in time where we do come back to source and realize our wholeness again. And it's been such a practice, and doing the work that we do together, I'm realizing the gift on the other side of it. And it is not, you know, Sifu talks about the simplicity of it. It's also very profound. And it's also well, I'm, for a lack of a better word, I'm just gonna say mind blowing, because I'm just like, what? No. Yeah. And then I'm seeing the results from it. So, and it's really beautiful too, in seeing it in my clients, and not only in myself in healing the IBS, it's through the Qigong that Sifu Eric has taught me.
Yeah.
And what I'm discovering is all the other healings that I'm able to do. It's not just in the IBS. Yes, that's what I specialize in the will, right, in the stomach area, all the gut issues. Yet I'm also recognizing, oh, what's most recently, when I was in Hawaii leading a retreat for women, I discovered that I could also heal hip pain. Oh, and by the way, joints as well. Like, it's so interesting. And now I guess we just add on to the list in those particular
Indeed.
healings. And the thing
Indeed.
is, a lot of people don't know to which healer to go to, because they think it's just like separate, like, I'm going to go to this healer for my joints, I'm going to go to this healer for my stomach. And the beauty of the Tai Chi practice, it's all one. And that's what I truly love about it. And it's just so simple that you're just coming to one source and understanding fully how to integrate all of it.
Indeed.
And it flows over to, right, like you said, the goal is for us to all come one in mind and body and in spirit and emotions. It's working on all of that too, not realizing you're also working on that part. So it's so multifaceted. It's like blows all of our minds. So I want to thank Elisa, our Tai Chi sister, for reminding, how difficult, I mean, for shedding light on that. Like, hey, there's so many healers who call themselves healers. You don't know who to go to for which. And so I'm so grateful to just beeline it to one person and be like, yo, I found the one that's all encompassing and it is working. I don't need to learn this. I don't have, like, it's like the ultimate tool that I've discovered. And, that depends on, everybody's different. That depends on how many tools you want in your toolbox, but to be honest with you, if I can just have one, that's less clutter. You know what I'm saying? So if I can just pinpoint it to one thing.
Right.
And it's, so far it's working in that way, because I'm being invited into, hey, learn this or try that. And I'm like, no, Qigong is still the one most potent and most powerful, most efficient and effective. True to my Sagittarius roots, I'm staying in this, this works for me. You may not function that way. That's why I had to say that part. Like, actually, for me, it's this. And it's life-changing. It's super magical. And
Indeed.
I mean, look, I'm still, as I just even reflect on my own, I'm so amazed at what the ability of my ability and my healing capability through unlocking it
Indeed.
with you, so I'm just really grateful. So I just wanted to come in really quickly and say thank you so much for that. I got to find you, because this teaching seeks those who are looking for it.
And let me thank you. And let me thank everybody here who's also watching and gaining from our conversations and the many more conversations that people who are watching and who will partake. I believe that when the mass consciousness, the group of human beings really need something really badly, certain souls step forward to become that point of focus in order so that the whole can become whole, to be that angle of reprieve, that aspect of hope, and I know that you and every last person on this planet who is a healer, who's working towards helping others in any way, shape, or form, is a part of the human experience outcry to be more, of what we are, you know. And I just really am really thankful that I get the opportunity to serve. The opportunity to serve is, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like seeing someone who has disease inside of them and they have pain inside of them, and they come to you and you show them how to unlock within themselves the health and the light within themselves in order to release their suffering. There is nothing more satisfying and I'll be doing this until the end of all time. And I can truly say that I'm really proud of you. You are a fantastic healer. One of the best I've ever seen. Ever. Probably one of the best I will ever know. You are a gem. And I'm very lucky to have the students I have, because they have the same tenacity and they have the same purity of heart to serve. So, thank you all for giving us the opportunity to serve you, because we love all of you. We really do. Thank you.
Receiving my teacher's words every time it's praise or acknowledgement, it's such a gift. And I'm fully receiving it, as you can tell from my tears. Yo, he brings it out of me. If you've ever met him in person or even got on a call, or if you've met Sifu Eric in some form, or in some way, he has that about himself. He's truly the Pooh Bear of them all. So don't be fooled by his divaness. And I thank you so much, Sifu. I received that, and I know how we're all working so hard on ourselves to be that reflection for everybody as well. And I am honored. I'm honored to walk this path with you. And we welcome anybody who is listening who feels called to this path too.
Indeed. We are really going to, this year, 2022 coming, we are really going to, if you guys are ready, taking on new students, in order to spread it, to certify people and to spread it, for those who are willing, for those who are capable, and who knows, maybe for those who aren't even capable, who knows what happens. But let's get it.
Okay.
022. DIVA time. Yes, let's go.
With that being said, how can we get in touch with you? How do we find you? What
Oh,
is the best way to connect with you? And
okay.
how can we support you and our
So
school?
here we go. Right. So this is my thing. Right, and it's probably going to be. It may be the weirdest thing you hear throughout, but if you have my phone number, then you were meant to have it. If you have my email, you were meant to have it. If you know my students, then you are meant to know me. And I just allow the Tao to do what it does. If you need me, you can find me. I'm not hidden anywhere. But you have to be ready to find me. And that's how I like it. So if you're ready to find me, it's really easy to find me. Just reach out when you find me. And don't allow your ego to get in the way. Don't allow your fear to get in the way. Because yes, we are going to work. But I tell you, by the time I'm done, you're going to love what you see and what you've become.
Is this when you walk into the sunset now?
Yes, but welcome to the sunset.
Y'all, for real, that he really means all of that. So,
Indeed. Yes, I do.
and if you missed it, his handle's like right here. Find him on Instagram at Sir Eric Randolph. And Sifu, I'm so grateful that you were able to grace us with your presence.
Thank you for having me on. This is so fun.
I know he's been bugging y'all. He's like, "Can I get on your show? Can I get on your show? Anita Vita Rise." And I was like, I know I do have to honor him for also creating such a lovely intro and outro. So I know I'm just never gonna let that go because it's so amazing. If to know more, we don't have enough time on this show to know more, to even find out about his music background and story. Don't forget to connect with him. Also, before we go, you have to let everyone know about your new album that just dropped.
Oh, goodness gracious. Come on. Oh, okay, so look. Right. So I walked into a studio and there's this young kid who's kind of eccentric and he does a different kind of music. It's like this grunge hip hop music. And I was listening to his music and it's really phenomenal. And I thought he was a genius. Like literally, the kid is just a genius. And he said, "Eric, will you help me to put out an album?" And I said, "Sure, why not? Sure, why not?" So we did a couple songs, and people are really loving the music. It's really different. It's really weird. It's a different aspect of myself, but I did it because he asked. He said, "I really want to break out in the music scene. I'm 17 years old. I'm kind of like, I really would like to do that. Can you help me?" And he was sincere. And so I said, "Sure." And so now we have a music video out, and another music video will be out soon, and there are a couple other things that are done too. So if you come onto my Sir Eric Randolph or The Way of Chi LLC on Instagram, you'll get to see it and you'll get to listen. It's on Spotify and on Apple. So I hope you like it. It's really different, but I hope you like it.
It is really different.
It's really different. So,
and it's so awesome. Yeah. And I wanted to shine light on that because, all healers come in different sizes and flavors, and flavors, there you go.
Yes.
He's also an artist, everybody. Okay. For real now. For real, though. I appreciate you, Sifu. Thank you
Love
for
you,
being
dear.
here. I know we're going to co-host something together, and I'm also
Love
going
you,
to bring
honey.
you back very, very soon.
Tell my
And-
I said I love her too.
Oh, she watching. And so I'm so grateful, Sifu. I appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing more.
You know it, love. Until next time.
Mwah. I'm going to see you right
Mwah.
after because, I'm going to have to debrief. We're going to be talking. That's
I'll
how
see
we
you
do.
on Skype, honey. I'll see
I
you
know.
soon.
I'm going to see you right there.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Anita Vita,